Today is November 23rd. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 9, The Family Afterward. We'll read page 129. Now, the 12 and 12 are on Tradition 5. We'll read page 153. And of course, read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. We've been given a brand new set of 24 hours yet again. What a blessing it is to be alive today. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. The Family Afterward, page 129. If the family cooperates, Dad will soon see that he is suffering from a distortion of values. He will perceive that his spiritual growth is lopsided. That for an average man like himself, a spiritual life which does not include his family obligations may not be so perfect after all. If the family will appreciate that Dad's current behavior is but a phase of his development, all will be well. In the midst of an understanding and sympathetic family, these vagaries of Dad's spiritual infancy will quickly disappear. The opposite may happen should the family condemn or criticize. Dad may feel that for years his drinking has placed him on the wrong side of every argument. But now he's become a superior person with God on his side. If the family persists in criticism, this fallacy may take a still greater hold on Father. Instead of treating the family as he should, he may retreat further into himself and feel that he has spiritual justification for doing so. Though the family does not fully agree with Dad's spiritual activities, they should let him have his head. Even if he displays a certain amount of neglect and irresponsibility toward the family, it is well to let him go as far as he likes in helping other alcoholics. During those first days of convalescence, this will do more to ensure his sobriety than anything else. Though some of his manifestations are alarming and disagreeable, we think Dad will be on a firmer foundation than the man who is placing business or professional success ahead of spiritual development. He'll be less likely to drink again, and anything is preferable to that. Out of the 12 and 12 are on Tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. And if you recall from yesterday's reading, we've talked to a man who was definitely a challenge for our AA member here, especially when our AA member brings up religion. So we're on page 153. Thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said. Perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you're better taught in religious matters than I, so I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet too that you could give me a letter-perfect definition of humility. But from what you've told me about yourself and your problems, and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. Okay, he said. Give me the business. Well, said I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show. This really rocked him. But as he calmed down, he began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw that I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. And from there on, we got along fine. Now, concludes the old-timers, suppose I've been obliged to talk to this man on religious grounds. Suppose my answer had to be that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went in for education, hospitals, and rehabilitation. Suppose I suggested that I take a hand in his domestic and business affairs. Where would we have wound up? No place, of course. Years later, this tough Irish customer liked to say, my sponsor sold me one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else. 24 hours a day, November 23rd. AA thought for the day. I no longer refuse to do anything because I cannot do it to perfection. Many of us alcoholics use the excuse of not being able to do something perfectly to enable us to do nothing at all. We pretend to be perfectionists. We're good at telling people how a thing should be done. But when we come to the effort of doing it ourselves, we balk. We say to ourselves, I might make mistakes, so I'd better let the whole thing slide. In AA, we set our goals high, but that does not prevent us from trying. The mere fact that we will never fully reach these goals does not prevent us from doing the best we can. Have I stopped hiding behind the smokescreen of perfectionism? Meditation for the day. In the world, ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Keep an undaunted spirit. Keep your spirit free and unconquered. You can be undefeated and untouched by failure in all its power, by letting your spirit overcome the world. Rise above earth's turmoil in the secret chamber of perfect peace and confidence. When a challenge comes to you, remember that you have God's help, and nothing can wholly defeat you. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may have confidence and be of good cheer. I pray that I may not fear the power of failure. Daily Reflection, November 23rd. Hold your face to the light. Believe more deeply. Hold your face up to the light, even though for the moment you do not see. As Bill sees it, page 3. One Sunday in October during my morning meditation, I glanced out the window at the ash tree in the front yard. At once, I was overwhelmed by its magnificent golden color. As I stared in awe at God's work of art, the leaves began to fall, and within minutes the branches were bare. Sadness came over me as I thought of the winter months ahead. But just as I was reflecting on autumn's annual process, God's message came through. Like the trees, stripped of their leaves in the fall, sprout new blossoms in the spring. I had had my compulsive, selfish ways removed by God in order for me to blossom into a sober, joyful member of AA. Thank you, God, for the changing seasons and for my ever-changing life. Alright, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and some beautiful stuff as always. Going back to the 24 hours real quick, in failure. I had a little boy and a little girl, and I tell my son sometimes, if he gets a bad grade, we celebrate that in a way, in a weird way. I'm like, hey, this is good. You're being challenged. Okay, you're gonna have to try here and change things up a little bit. And that makes me think of my work day. And I think about the adversity I have to face every single day. And it's a hard job. It's a challenge. I deal with disrespect every day. But I try my best to thank my higher power for that. Because I know that something can be learned from every single challenging experience. It's easier said than done sometimes. But I've discovered the failure for me is just feedback to try to get better. It's not personal. So with that, my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you have a great one. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA. I am not a professional narrator. I am just a dude in this lifeboat of recovery, grateful to be here today. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.